Good evening to all. So, in this lecture, continuing with the last two lectures, in this lecture I will discuss more functions related to list. So let's have a quick revision about the list. So in the list, I told you that what is the purpose of the list, and the purpose is to group similar or dissimilar data type, variables or values of similar or dissimilar data types. Then we discussed how we can create a list, and I told you that the list can be created with the help of by just using this square bracket. Whatever data that we are going to put inside this square brackets, that will create the list. So we have discussed that inside the square brackets, if we put values of dissimilar data type, then also it will form a list. If we want to have, if I provide this type of the expression, means expression having the arithmetical expression or expression having some relational operator, so these values will be stored in the list. The result of this value will be stored in the list, right? We have discussed about the multidimensional list, where I told you that we can have a list within the list, and to access this, simply we can put the multiple number of square bracket. If I mention 2, then 2 means this complete list, right? And over here I told you that if I put 0, then 0 means the element at the first position, means this complete set, right? Now after that, we have discussed about the slicing, and in the slicing I told you that the function syntax is the name of the list, and within the square bracket I can put the index from where I want to start, then the index where I want to end, and then we also have the option to put the step size. So if I put the third number after the colon, then this will give me the step size, and with the help of the step size I can have the alternate elements or elements after every third elements I can access. So that type of thing I can do. Then we have discussed how we can reverse the list with the help by providing the negative index, negative step size. Then we have discussed about the length function, that with the help of the length function we can determine the length, how many elements are there in the list. And over here we have discussed that if the list is, if we have a multi-dimensional list, then it is going to provide, length function is going to provide the length or the element, number of element only as per the first index, first dimension. For example, if I put over here, if I put this, then it is just going to put answer is 5, this as first element, this as second element, this complete thing as third element, then fourth, and then fifth. So this list within list, it will be taken as one unit, right? So we get 5 as the length. If I want to know the length of this list, then I need to mention the index value, means like 2. Since this list is present at this, so I need to put 2 index value, and then it provides the length as 4, because this list, it contains 4 elements. Then we have discussed that if we have the string, then this function, it can be used for the string also, but this length function cannot be used for the integers or for the float value. We have seen that if I try to get the length of this, then it is going to show an error. Why? Because the integer cannot be does not have any length, right? So over here this function is invalid for the integer and for the float. Then we have discussed about the index function, that with the help of this index function of the list, we can determine the index value where this particular element is present in the list. So over here, like if I put 3, then it returns the index value of the element 3. Okay, so like over here, when I execute this, I get 1 because 1 at 1 3 is present, and it returns the first occurrence of this number. If I try, we have discussed that if I try to find out the element which is not present in the list, like 31, then it is going to show an error, right? So it means I should try to find out only the elements that are present in the list. If I try to find out the elements which are not present in the list, then it is going to show an error, right? Now after that, we have discussed about the replacement, and then okay, so we end over here. And now from today we are going to start with this replace, that how we can change the value that is present in the list. For example, if this is present over here 1 2 3, and now if I want to change this value to 41, so simply what I can do, I can put the list name followed by the index of the value which I want to change. So over here I want to change this 2, so this 2 is present at 1, so I put this num1 is equals to 41. So 41 will be assigned to this position of the list. So if I print it, so you can see modified list is this 1 41 3, so 2 is replaced with 41. So simply to replace this, to replace any element, simply I need to put the name of the list followed by the index value, and then after equal to, I need to put the value that with which I want to change it. And over here, suppose if I change it with some name, with some string, then also it is going to work. Why? Because list can have elements with different data types, so it is also possible. So integer can be replaced by string, integer can be replaced by float, and so on, right? Now after that, we have a function called delete, and this del function, it is used to delete the complete list or particular element of the list. How it works? Simply, if I have this list and if I want to delete, suppose if I want to delete the element present at index 2, which is 3 over here, so simply I will put this thing, delete name of the list, and within the square bracket I will put 2. So it is going to delete the last element of the list. If I want to delete the complete list, then that also I can do simply by writing the name of the list. So it deleted the list, and since I tried to print the list, it is the reason that it has displayed an error that name num is non-defined, because I already deleted that list from the memory, right? So in this way we can delete the particular element of the list or the complete list. Next we have the insert function, and with the help of the insert function we can insert new elements within the list at a specific position. Means we need to provide the value that we want to insert, and we also need to provide the index value where we want to insert the position, right? So the function is the insert. So the name of the list dot name of the function is insert. So with the help of this function, I will be able to insert a new value for at index 1. So it means within the parenthesis I need to provide the inputs, and the input arguments are, first is the index value where I want to insert the new element, and second input is the value that I want to insert. So if I execute this, then it is going to display, you can see at index 1 now 4 is present. Previously 2 was there, but now 4 is present, and this 2 3 it is shifted towards right side. If we talk about a C programming language, or the basic fundamental programming languages, so if we are going to have this type of insert operation in that, then first of all we need to shift this 2 and 3 towards right side by 1 position, and then only I will be able to insert 4. Means first of all I need to vacate this position, then only I can insert. and that requires around 9-10 lines at least, right? But in Python it can be done just in a single line, right? So that is the reason that Python is a simple language and can be used by any person of any domain. Now the next is, after insert we have the next operation which is known as the append. Now append and insert, they are very like the purpose is same. Like insert and append, both are used to insert new data into the list. The difference is that with the help of the insert we can insert new element at any position within the list. But when we say append, append means that we are going to add new element at the end of the list. It means since it is for sure that the new element will be inserted at the end, so we do not need to mention the position while using append. So over here the function is this name of the list dot append, and simply we need to, within the parentheses as an input, we just need to provide the value that we want to insert. So if I execute this, you can see it has inserted new value at the end. So the original list is this and the modified list is 1 2 3 9. So since if I am using append, then I do not need to mention the position, because by default append means that new value will be inserted at the end. If I want to insert in the middle, then I am going to use this insert function, right? So this is about append. Now the next operation is the sort operation. Now there are like many times while like especially when we are doing an Excel file, when we are using Excel file, and many times we need to arrange the list in ascending order, in alphabetical order, in increasing order of the numbers, or decreasing order of the number, and so on. So that type of a thing can be done in Python just in a single line, and the function is this sort. So name of the list dot, the function is sort, and just within the parentheses we do not need to provide any data if we want to arrange the list in ascending order, right? So if we are arranging the list in ascending order, then simply we are going to keep the parenthesis empty. So now if I execute this, then you can see the original list is this, sorted list in ascending order is this is this, right? And now if I want to have my list sorted in descending order, in that case the function name is same, sort, but within the parentheses I need to put this reverse equals to true. So if I put reverse equals to true, it means I am by default this value reverse is false, so we do not need to provide over here, right? But when we put reverse equals to true, it means that we are asking the interpreter to arrange the list in descending order. So if we want to arrange the data in descending order, then we need to provide this input to the function sort. So in this way you can see that our data is sorted in the descending order, right? Now next is the reverse. Now already we have seen one way to reverse the list, another way and that was by providing the negative step size -1. Another way is to use the function, and we have a function known as reverse. So if this is the list, right, if this is the list, then simply we are going to put this function reverse, name of the list dot reverse, and empty parenthesis. So if I execute this, you will see that the list is arranged in reverse order. So we can use this function also to reverse the list, right? And this function already we have seen that this over here we did not provide what's the start, we did not provide what's the end, we simply provide -1, means -1 will indicate that the interpreter is going to start reading the list from the end. So simply by using this function we can reverse the list. So we have two ways to reverse the list. So and next is the maximum function. Now max function, this function is used to get the maximum number that is present in the list. Now suppose if we have a list containing the marks of say 90 students, so if we want to find out that what is the highest marks scored by any student, so simply we need some function with the help of which that will return the highest value, highest maximum marks scored by any student, highest marks scored by any student. So that can be done simply with the help of this max function. So if this is the list, so inside with this max function, inside the parenthesis, we will just provide the name of the list, and this is going to return the maximum marks. So let me put it in simple way, print b. So it returns the 7 because 7 is the highest maximum number that is present in this list. If I put 51, then it is going to return 51. Now the question may be that what will happen if we have some string also. Suppose if we have this abs as the string, this is string and all the other entries, they are the numbers. So will this function work? If we look at the logic, so max is mainly for the numbers because max indicates the highest number in magnitude, but abs does not have any magnitude. So let's see if it is going to work. So as the logic says, it is not working, and it simply says that this function is not supported between instances of str and int. Means if we have this function, max function, can be used only if we have integers or float. Okay, if we have string also, means if we have a mixed data type values, then it is not going to work. But what if in place of this string, if we have a float value, say 4.5, so all our integers, only this value is float. So will it, again it is a mixed data type, but as per the mathematics, float value 4.5 and the remaining values which are integer, all are considered as a number in mathematics. So as per the mathematics, we can determine the maximum value, highest value out of this. So let's see if this function is going to work over here. So if I execute this, you can see it is working. It means most of the functions that are there in the Python, they follow the basic logic of English, logic of mathematics, logic of physics. So whatever domain knowledge that we are having, most of the time Python behaves exactly in the same way, right? So over here, this mixed data type of float and integer works in with this max function, but if we have a string, then this max does not work, right? Now similar to max, we have the min function. This min function also returns the minimum value that is present in the list. So if I execute this, it is going to return 1. So you can see we have a value 1. If I put -5, then it is going to return -5. So just in a single line, I may get what is the maximum value in the list, what is the minimum value in the list, right? So next is this sum. Now we have one more function which is the sum, and with the help of this sum, we can get the sum of all the numbers that are present in the list. So let me put a code for this. So if this is the list, let me start with the integer values. So if I put b equals to sum num, and now if I just display b, so you can see I get the value as 20, and 20, 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16, 16 plus 4 is 20. So I get the sum of all the elements in the list. What if I have some decimal values, like suppose 3.5? So now the list contain integer as well as the float value, and as per the mathematics, it should work, and it is working. What if I have some string also, like over here, this 5, it is not a number, it is not a digit, it is this string over here, because this 5 is inside the single quote. So now as per the English or mathematics, we cannot add string with numbers. So let's see if it is possible over here. So since as per the mathematics and English it is not possible, same for the Python. Unsupported operand type plus for integer and string, right? So it means it does not work over here, right? Now what if our list contains, okay, what if our list contain only, say LST, it contains only string, let it be A, let it be B. Means previously it was giving error when we have the mixed data type of string, integer and float. But what if we have just string? Will it going to give any output? Let's see. So if I execute this, then it is showing an error, and over here again the same error. It means that this LST function, this sum function is not valid for string, right? It is valid only for the integer and the float. Whereas if you remember that if I have two strings like a and if I put this thing, right? So now plus operator, as per mathematics it is valid only for the numbers. But in Python, if we try to add two strings, then it works. And what is the output? Output is AB. So if we are using plus, it is a valid function. It concatenate, it combines the two strings into one. But this sum function, which is mainly to add all the values that are present in the list, this particular function is not valid for the strings, right? So next is the concatenating. Now concatenating the two lists, it means to combine the two lists. Over here, let's see if we have these two lists, list 1 and list 2. Now to combine the two lists into one, the operation is simply this, where we just have to use the plus sign. Just list 1 plus list 2 will concatenate the two lists. Remember, it is not going to add the two lists, it is going to concatenate the two lists. So let me make it simple. So you can see when I display B, then it is the list 1 and then list 2 is added after list 1. So this plus operator between the two lists, it simply concatenates the two lists. It does not add the elements by element in the list, right? So this is about concatenating the two lists. And the last thing that we are going to discuss today is the membership function. The membership function is like, suppose if I have this list and over here this in, it is the membership function, membership operator. What this operator does is it simply search, like if I write 51 in list 1, so it will be read as, is 51 present in list 1? If the answer is yes, then this is going to be true and the value true will be assigned to B. If the answer to this question, if 51 is present in list 1, if answer to this question is false, then the false will be assigned to this variable B, right? Means B will have value false. So let me execute this. So if I execute this, you can see I get false. Why? Because 51 is not present in the list. If I put 51 over here, then it returns true. So B get its value as true. So with the help of in operator, simply we can search whether the particular element or particular value is present in the list or not. If it is present in the list, simply in operator will return true. If it is not present in the list, it is going to return false. We have another operator which is known as not in, and it will be read as, we can read it as, is 51 not present in list 1? Is 51 not present in list 1? So over here, if the answer is true, true will be assigned to B. So over here, since the list is this and 51 is present in the list, so the answer to this question, is 51 not present in list 1? The answer is no. Means answer to this statement is false, right? 51 is present in the list. So this statement that 51 not present in list 1, it is false, right? So since this particular statement is false, so B will get its value as false. If I put 5, so the question is 51 not present in list 1? So 51, since 51 is not present in this list 1, so it will return true. So membership function is in, and if we connect not with in, then it will be the inverse sentence, right? Negative sentence. So this is about the membership function. So if you have any doubt, you can put it in the comment box. So I end this video over here. Do subscribe my channel, share this video with your friends and colleagues. Thank you.